Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm in Dublin today, and this is probably one of Dublin's most well-known landmarks, the Guinness Brewery. I'm not going in there today. I have been in there before. It is quite an interesting experience, especially when up there you have a pint of Guinness on the roof and you get fantastic views over Dublin City. What we're going to do in today's video is we're going to go and explore an old canal which was once used to transport Guinness from the Guinness Brewery around Ireland and indeed the rest of the world. It's the old Grand Canal. Now here we have, it says the Grand Canal Harbour. There's an old map of the canal. Quite a lot of the canal is still in use, but one part of it has become a tramway, which is quite exciting. We're going to go and have a look. There's an old picture there. Look at that. So leaving the Guinness Brewery behind us, which, you know, like I say, is an interesting experience. You want to go and have a look in there, and you get your Guinness on top after seeing how it's been made and generally learning the story of Guinness. These modern flats, this area, this was the big harbour, and then there have been boats coming in. You can see one of the original buildings, the old malting buildings over there. It's all being redeveloped, and you can see they've put sort of there with modern water just to show you, you know, to give the feel that it was a canal. We're going to follow the old canal round the corner, and then soon or later we should come across the Luas Trams, which I think is the only place I can think of where a canal has become a tramway. It might not be the only place, and of course if you know of anywhere else you'll be able to comment and tell me. So let's leave the harbour behind. I'm going to have to find my way around the streets because there's a wall over there, and let's go and discover more of this old canal. I've just come round the corner from where we were a moment ago. We were there. I've come down here and I'm here. That was also the city basin. The idea for this canal goes right back to 1715. They wanted to be able to link Dublin easily with the west of Ireland, so they built this canal to link up with the River Shannon. This section opened in the late 1700s, but the full canal, I understand, was completed in 1804, and then it closed in 1960. But most of it has been reopened as a pleasure canal. So you've got the Grand Canal in this part of Dublin. If you ever get the train up to Sligo, you'll run beside the Royal Canal, the railway. That's a video for another day, although we did see it when we went to Pelletstown station a couple of years ago, how the Royal Canal and the railway run side by side. But here we're going to look at this section of canal, which, like I say, it closed, and then it would have been just an area that wasn't used. But then when they wanted to bring trams back to Dublin, which, you know, I think is great, Dublin has the Luas Trams, which means it's Gaelic for like fast or swift. They used a section of canal to build the tramway, the red line, which goes out to Tala and Sagat. There's two branches. You can see here that there's a bit of a dip. That's the old canal. I wonder how many children going down that slide realise they're going down into the bed of an old canal. And then down there somewhere, that's where the city basin would have been. And if we just walk through here, so I'm literally standing in the canal now. Here's where the trams join, and then the trams go around this corner, and over there there's a stop called Fatima. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the tram lines. We'll see a couple of trams running in what was a canal. There are places where canals were converted into railways, or railways were built on the alignment. An example being parts of what's now the Churnit Valley Railway, south of Kingsley and Foggle. The Caldon Canal trackbed became the Churnit Valley Railway. So there's examples of canals being railways, but for canals to become a modern tramway like this, I think this might be the only place. If you know of any others, please do comment and tell me. Let's wait and see a tram go past. We just saw a tram heading away from the city centre. Here comes one towards the city centre. This is one of the 3 series trams. Dublin has 81 Citadis Trams, and I saw my last one this morning, number 5031. That was down at sort of on O'Connell Street. We won't see the 5 Series ones on this line. The 3 and the 4 Series trams were at this line. Originally, the 3 Series were for one of the lines and the 4 Series for the other, and one of them was quite a lot shorter, but they've had extra segments added due to the popularity of the Luas to make them longer. There was originally 26, or there is 26 3 Series trams and 14 4 Series trams, and then there's 41 of the 5 Series trams. It's just starting to rain, even though the sun's out, it's just starting to rain. I'm going to continue on past Fatima tram stop and we'll follow the tramway in the old canal bed. I'm now at the Rialto tram stop, and this stop is particularly fascinating. Well, the stop itself is fairly normal. It's what happens here, just beyond the stop. See how the tracks disappear off down there? Now, my guess is there must have been a lock here because we're pretty much level with the road, and then it drops down, and then it starts to go up a bit again. There's a tram just pulling in now, number 3014. So we'll watch that tram disappear. It will go off down there. I think they've gradually sort of filled it in partly, but in order to get them under the road here, it goes down and goes up slightly. So I reckon there must have been a lock around here. So it's all, you know, adds to the fascination of this. We'll watch the tram go. We'll see it disappear off down there, and then is it going to go? And then what we'll do, we'll cross the bridge and we'll continue to follow it. And soon we should come to the junction with the active part of the Grand Canal. So, off goes the tram. I'm going to go up to the road bridge. Let's go and see where it's off to. There we are, on the bridge now. You can really see how the line drops down where the lock would have been. Probably soon you'll be able to walk up this path here, because they're reconstructing the hospital. You can't at the moment, and it mentions about how they're upgrading this linear park, which is like a park along, you get parks along old railways, old canals. This is the same really, just happens to have a tram line in it as well. Across the road, we're going to continue on up there. Here we are on the other side of the road. There's another well-known Irish drink. Let's have a look. So there goes the tram line now, comes out. Like I say, it raises slightly, goes up to ground level because it doesn't really need to be as low down as the canal water, but it does, obviously, to get under the road, it has to go down pretty low. So here we are at sort of wire level, pantograph level, and then the route from here onwards, it runs along the back of the houses. So this is the Rialto area of Dublin. It's a fairly pleasant suburb. I've had a wander around here in the past. We get to here and we should get quite a good view of the bridge. So we are. That's where we were. I'm going to follow on up here. Let's see some more trams. As another tram heads away from the city centre at this point, they go from running along on the old canal, they go up a bit of a ramp, as we can see here. And the reason for this ramp is because this is where the junction with the other part of the canal, which goes down to Grand Canal dock. That is a stop on the line from Dublin down towards Rosslare. This is where the junction was, and we'll go and see that in a second. So we're just going to come out of here. As we walk through this area here, the tram we saw is just disappearing off over there, and up here, this bit of road which goes to those flats there goes over an old bridge over the canal. So for the first time in this video that's about canals, we shall see some water. So here's the tram lines there rising up. There's a modern bridge here. See that modern bridge over a canal, and an old bridge over a canal. And as we go down here, this is the canal itself. As I say, that is looking towards Grand Canal dock down there, and then here is the modern tram bridge over the canal. Over there's the tram stop. The tram line then runs parallel to the canal, so we'll go up there and we'll have a look, and then we'll finish the video up there. I've now found a working lock on the canal. It's actually a double lock. If you look here, there's in, there's another lock, and then out. And then behind me here, that is the Sure Road tram stop. So at this point, the trams no longer run in the old canal bed, because this section, by the time they built Luas, was up and running. So they run beside it. So it creates quite an interesting bit of tram line. Probably one of the most interesting tram routes there is in Dublin. As I said, most of the other line is all along an old railway. Perhaps we'll do a video on that one day. But this one, like I say, is very much associated with canals. Across the lock here, so there's not many places, I'm not saying they don't exist, where you get off a tram and you can walk straight across a lock. It looks like there's another lock at the next tram stop. I'm going to leave this video here. I'm just going to have a bit of a walk. I might walk to the next tram stop for fun, and I'm going to catch the tram back to Dublin, get lunch, and probably have a pint of Guinness. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please do feel free to like, subscribe, share and comment. Goodbye.